Okay, so let's talk about the next part, which is about plasmids. So please give a heading, plasmids. 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 Let's say I have a bacteria and this is the nucleoid of bacteria. Nucleoid. We have discussed what is a nucleoid. Nucleoid means nucleus-like. It is not perfectly nucleus, but it is just like a nucleus. Okay, primitive form of nucleus, nucleoid. Okay, bacteria have nucleoids, they don't have nucleus. Alright, so this nucleoid has DNA as its genetic material. Now, there are some DNA which are present outside this nucleoid. They are not present inside this nucleoid. The DNA which is present outside the nucleoid, that forms the plasmid. So I can write it as plasmid. DNA present outside the nucleoid or the nucleus, you can say nucleus, but it is not perfectly nucleus, it is imperfect nucleus. It is called nucleoid. Okay. Now this plasmid is also called the extra chromosomal. This is very important. Extra chromosomal. Extra chromosomal DNA. Extra chromosomal means the DNA which is present outside the chromosome. Outside the chromosome means chromosomes generally refer to the genetic material. Okay, so it is that DNA which does not have genetic properties. Okay, it is not considered as genetic material. Okay, so it is present outside the nucleus. Okay, so I can also write second point, it lacks genetic properties. Third point, it lacks metabolic genes. Metabolic genes. That means it cannot regulate metabolism. Okay. So, although it can take part in some other processes, which we'll discuss in class 12 section in biotechnology. In the 12th section, there's a chapter called biotechnology where you learn about plasmids in details. Right now, these points are sufficient. Okay. One more thing, types of plasmid, which is important. So please draw this first, then I will erase this part. Please draw it first. Okay, I will erase the part. Okay, chalo. Please give a heading, types of plasmids. Types of plasmids. Types of plasmids. So we can classify plasmids into a number of types, out of which there are four main points or four main categories. The first category is the F plasmid. F plasmid. Okay. Next is R plasmid. F plasmid, R plasmid. Next is Col plasmid. Col plasmid. And the last one is Vir plasmid. Okay. Now, what is F plasmid? F plasmid refers to fertility plasmid. F stands for fertility. Okay, fertility. So I can write fertility here. Fertility. So it has a factor which is called fertility factor. Okay. Now, similarly, in this case, R stands for resistance. Okay, resistance factor. Next, Col plasmid. Col stands for colicin factor. Colicin factor. And Vir stands for virulence factor. Virulence factor. Okay. So out of these four categories, I have the first type, which is F plasmid. Now, F plasmid means F stands for fertility. So it will somehow help in fertility or fertilization or reproduction. So it is helpful during reproduction of bacteria. Reproduction of bacteria. Okay, reproduction of bacteria. If I call this process specifically, it is called conjugation. We'll discuss about reproduction in bacteria in this class only. So we'll see how conjugation takes place. So this is about F plasmid and conjugation. Next one, resistance factor. So it provides resistance. Provides I can also write genes over here, okay? Genes, fertility genes, colicin genes, similarly virulence genes. Okay, so let's come back. Our plasmid, they provide resistance. They provide resistance against what? Against heavy metals. Okay, the bacteria needs some resistance. Suppose there is a bacteria. Suppose this is a bacteria, and in its surrounding environment, there are some heavy metals like lead, mercury. Okay, so these are some heavy metals which can disrupt the metabolic activities of bacteria. So bacteria needs some protection. Okay, and this protection is provided by the R plasmid. Okay, now R plasmid provides resistance against heavy metals. Apart from heavy metals, toxic chemicals, or you can also write antibodies of host. Suppose if this bacteria wants to attack some animal, so the body of animal will produce some antibodies. So against that antibody also, this R plasmid will protect this bacteria. Okay, provides resistance against heavy metals, toxic chemicals, antibodies, etc. So that's the function of R plasmid. Alright, next part is about the col plasmid or colicin factor. Now colicin factor or colicin gene are some toxic genes, toxic chemicals are produced here. So these genes or these factors will produce some toxic chemicals, or simply I can call it toxins. Okay, now these toxins will act on surrounding bacteria. These toxins will act on surrounding bacteria. So it is different from this process. Here what happens, suppose this is the bacteria that will produce this col plasmid. Okay, and surrounding this bacteria are some other bacteria as well. Now, in order to gain control over the surrounding environment, this bacteria will try to kill the surrounding bacteria. Okay, all the other bacteria will be killed by this bacteria provided it has this colicin factor. So it can kill other bacteria. So I can write these are toxic chemicals that act on surrounding bacteria, which are produced by one group of bacteria to kill several other groups of bacteria. So they act against other group of bacteria because bacteria में बहुत सारे numbers हैं. Okay, ये नहीं कि bacteria सिर्फ एक type का है. We have millions types of bacteria. Okay, so one group of bacteria will try to kill several other groups of bacteria. So that's it. That's the function of col plasmid. Okay. Next, Vir plasmid. Now, Vir plasmid simply means it causes virulence. Virulence means pathogenicity. So it causes pathogenicity. Pathogenicity means it causes disease. So they are present in case of pathogenic bacteria. So those bacteria that are pathogenic in nature, they will produce this Vir plasmid. Okay. Please copy this part. Very important parts. Please copy this part. Okay, I hope सबने copy कर लिया होगा. I'm erasing this part. Alright. So that's it. That's the information about plasmids. One more information about plasmid is that they are triple C in nature. Triple C nature means if I draw a plasmid over here, suppose this is a plasmid. It has triple C nature. C. The first C stands for covalent. Covalently. Second C stands for closed. Third one is for circular. It is triple C DNA. Triple C nature DNA. Okay, so it is covalently closed. That means it has got covalent bonds. So यहाँ पर क्या है? We have covalent bonds. Okay. Next, closed. It is totally closed and it is circular in nature. So that's the nature of a plasmid. Okay. Please copy this part as well. Please copy this part. And then we'll talk about bacterial reproduction. Okay. Alright. Please give the heading bacterial reproduction. Please give the heading bacterial reproduction. Bacterial reproduction. So we can classify the process of reproduction in bacteria into three main categories. The first category is so first category is about vegetative propagation. I will write vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation, or simply you can write vegetative reproduction as well. एक ही बात है. Propagation stands for plants because plants में propagation होता है. So you can write vegetative reproduction. Okay. The next is about asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. And the last one is sexual reproduction. Yes, bacteria के पास भी sexual reproduction होता है. Okay. Let's see. 10th तक कितना नहीं पढ़े होगे. Let's see. Vegetative reproduction में we have two more categories. Binary fission. The first one is binary fission and second is fragmentation. Or second I can write binary fission and fragmentation. Fragmentation, or let's separate them. Make 3 points. Fragmentation. This is not very well pronounced. Binary fission is well seen in bacteria. Okay, so we can skip this part as well. But the main important points are binary fission and bud formation. These two are very important in case of bacteria. Although in some cases fragmentation is also seen accidentally. But the major parts are binary fission and bud formation. These are important. Okay. Next, asexual reproduction. Now, asexual reproduction may we have 2 points. One is exospore formation, and second is endospore formation. As we know, spores are unit of asexual reproduction. Okay. Now, if the spores are present inside the body, that is called endospore, and if the spores are present outside the body, that is called exospore. Okay. And sexual reproduction, may we have 3 different types. First is called conjugation, which we discussed in F factor, conjugation. Okay. Next is transduction, and the last one is transformation. Okay. So let's start with this thing. I will discuss binary fission and bud formation only. We will skip this part because this is not important and this is not in our syllabus. And if you are asked in exams that what is vegetative reproduction, you should only write binary fission and bud formation. This is an extra information and it might be incorrect according to your examiner, according to your teacher. Okay, so please don't write this in your exam, but याद करके रखो कि fragmentation भी होता है. Okay. Binary fission. Now binary fission क्या होता है? If you have a bacteria and it splits into two equal halves. That is called binary fission. Binary means 2, fission means splitting. Okay, so you will get 2 bacteria. Now each bacteria will grow and it will form a mature bacteria, and the process will repeat in these 2 bacteria as well. Okay, this is called binary fission. What about bud formation? It will be more simple. Suppose there is a bacteria, and on the surface of this bacteria, there is an outgrowth. This outgrowth is nothing but the bud. This is called bud formation. Now, this bud will draw nutrients from this bacteria. It will take nutrients from this bacteria, and it will continue to grow in size. If I say, after some time, this bud will become like this. Okay, and once it attains a normal size, it detaches from the parent bacteria, and as a result I will get two different bacteria. Okay. Again there will be a bud formation and we will get a new bacteria. So this is bud formation and binary fission. They are called vegetative because they are clones of each other actually. Clones of each other. They are genetically identical. Okay, exactly identical. Okay, let's discuss about asexual reproduction. It is very much similar to vegetative reproduction, but in this case we have spores, which are the unit of asexual reproduction. That's why we have to classify them into two parts. Once again, you will get clones in this case as well. Okay, so please copy this part first. I will talk about endospores in details. Please copy this part. Okay. So let's talk about endospores. So suppose this is a bacteria. This is a bacteria, and inside this bacteria there is a spore. Since it is present inside the bacteria, it is called endospore. Endospore. Now this endospore can be stained by malachite green. This can be stained by malachite green. This is out of syllabus, so again this is an extra information. You can just remember this thing. It is stained by malachite green. It is not very important. The thing that is important is chemical nature. Please write this down. Likho. Chemical nature of endospore. Chemical nature of endospore. Now the endospore has a number of, or I can say endospore has a chemical which is called calcium dipicolinate. Now this is a salt, calcium salt, which is made up of dipicolinic acid. You, just remember this thing: calcium dipicolinate salt. Now because of presence of this salt, the endospore is highly resistant. It is highly resistant to heat, pH, host enzymes, okay, etc. Pressure, etc. So because of the presence of this salt, this bacteria will be able to survive extreme conditions. Like extreme conditions क्या है? They are heat, pH, host enzymes, pressure, desiccation, boiling, etc. They will survive, these bacteria will survive all the extreme conditions because of the presence of endospore. Okay, so this is important, please note this down. And one more thing is the structure of endospore. So just write it down. First copy this part and then I will dictate you. Okay, please write down the different layers of endospores starting from inside to outside are. The different layers of endospores starting from inside to outside, moving in this direction from inside to outside. Different layers are: number one, the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm, which is present here. The cytoplasm. So if I draw it, the cytoplasm is here. This layer is called cytoplasm. Next is the spore cortex. Number two, spore cortex. The next layer is spore cortex. So the next layer, suppose this is the next layer. This layer is the spore cortex. Okay. Next, number three, spore coat. Number 3. Suppose ये वाला third one is spore coat, and the outermost layer, number 4, is called exosporium. Exosporium. Okay. The outermost layer is called exosporium. Alright, so these are different layers starting from inside to outside. It has got 4 layers, and these are very important. You have to learn them. Cytoplasm, spore cortex, spore coat, exosporium. Okay, so that's it. We'll talk about the sexual part next. So let me erase this first. Please copy this part. Okay. Please give the heading sexual reproduction in bacteria. Sexual reproduction in bacteria, and number 1 is conjugation. Sexual reproduction in bacteria, and the first part is conjugation. Okay, so conjugation. In conjugation, I will need F plasmid. We have discussed about F plasmid, the fertility factor. Okay, so suppose initially I have got a bacteria which has this. I will draw the plasmid here, and suppose, let's say, this is the nucleoid. Okay, I don't need a nucleoid here, I just need this plasmid. And if I say that the inner one, since plasmid consists of 2 strands, okay, so I will draw the outer strand in blue color. Let's erase this first. ध्यान से देखना, the inner strand is red in color and the outer strand is blue in color. Okay, red and blue combination. Okay, ये क्या है? We'll see. Now this bacteria has got this F plasmid. Those bacteria that have this F plasmid, they are called F positive. They are called F positive. Okay, and they can donate this F positive to those bacteria that do not have this F plasmid. So let's say I have a bacteria, I've got one more bacteria which lacks this F plasmid. So this is the nucleoid of this bacteria. This is the first bacteria and this is the second bacteria. But this bacteria lacks this F plasmid. So I will say that this is F negative and it will receive. Since it is receiving the F plasmid, it is called recipient. And since this bacteria is donating its F plasmid, it is called donor. So I have got 2 names. One is F positive and donor. Second names are F negative and recipients. Okay, and this classification is based on the presence or absence of F plasmid or fertility factor. Okay, now what will happen next is that there is a small outgrowth over here which develops. Small outgrowth develops when this bacteria approaches F negative bacteria. When an F positive bacteria approaches an F negative bacteria, there is a small outgrowth which grows in F positive bacteria. Outgrowth, or simply just write it down, इसका नाम ही लिख लो. It is called sex pili. Which grows in F positive bacteria when it approaches an F negative bacteria. Okay, now this sex pili grows in this direction towards F negative bacteria. So it will grow in size. So in the next step, what we'll see that this has reached the cell wall of the F negative bacteria. Okay. Now this sex pili has lysozymes. You know what are lysozymes? These are enzymes that can cleave the cell wall. So this F negative has a cell wall over here. So this cell wall I can write the cell wall of F negative will be cleaved or will be lysed, you can write, or will be dissolved, you can write anything, will be dissolved by lysozyme. And where was the lysozyme present? It was present in the sex pili. Okay. So in the next step what happens? This cell wall gets dissolved and the sex pili penetrates. Okay. The sex pili penetrates the F negative bacteria. Okay. So please draw it. I will erase this part. Okay, so what happens next? Next, in the next part, what happens? So these two bacteria are now connected, and this strand, there's a double strand, right? So outermost strand of this F plasmid will dissociate, okay, and it will try to move towards the F negative bacteria via the sex pili. So it dissociates like this. Initially it looks like this. The inner strand remains unaffected and it moves in this direction. So in the next step it will move like this, and ultimately you will get it over here. Okay, so I will draw it in the next step only. So let me draw it. So this will be like this, and what will happen in this case? It is left only with the inner strand. So as you can see in this case, nucleoid, okay, nucleoid. As you can see in this case, the inner strand is intact, and in this case, the outer strand of this bacteria has reached the F negative. Okay. Now, one more thing is that plasmids. This is very, very important. Plasmids. Please write it down. Plasmids are self-replicating. They are self-replicating. Now this means that this plasmid and this plasmid, both the plasmids, will be independent for their replication process. So they can replicate independently and they can make their missing strands. Okay, that means this is the inner strand. It can make an outer strand, okay, and this outer strand can make an inner strand, okay, and both are independent of each other. So this is called self-replicating process. So plasmids are self-replicating. Please copy this part. Okay, I'm going to erase this. Alright. So what happens next? So self-replication will take place. Now the purpose of the sex pili is over now, and it will now retreat. So I can write sex pili will retreat. It will come back to its original position. So its size will decrease now, and eventually, and the hole created here will be filled again. Okay, will be filled again. Cell wall synthesis will take place here, so it will be repaired. And let's talk about the plasmid next. Now this strand is the inner strand. It will synthesize an outer strand around itself. Similarly, this outer strand will synthesize an inner strand inside it. Okay. So in this way, now both the bacteria have got F plasmids. F plasmid is present in both the bacteria. Now both of them have F plasmids, so I can call them F positive, F positive. It's not like that this bacteria has donated its plasmid and it has become F negative because of this reason. No, both of them will remain F positive. So this is called copy paste mechanism. It is not cut paste, it is copy paste mechanism. Copy paste mechanism. Okay, the bacteria which donates its F plasmid will retain its F plasmid at the end of the process. So finals image jo I will draw it. The sex pili will completely retreat and both the bacteria will become F positive. Nucleoid, 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 inner strand, and outer strand, outer strand. That's it. Both of them are F positive now. So that's the end of conjugation, which helps, which takes place with the help of F plasmid. This is the F plasmid. Okay. Please copy this part. Okay, done. One more thing, it was discovered by, conjugation was discovered by, please write it down, it was discovered by Lederberg and Tatum. Lederberg and Tatum. There were two scientists, Lederberg and Tatum. Okay, and in which organism? In Escherichia coli, in E. coli. In E. coli bacteria, it was discovered. Alright, next part is about HFR. Please copy this part, I will erase this. Okay, now next part is about HFR. This is called high frequency of recombination. High frequency of recombination. High frequency of recombination. Now, let's see ये क्या होता है. Please write a point. F plasmid can remain independent. Please write a point. F plasmid can remain independent or it can be associated or integrated with the bacterial chromosome, So when it gets integrated with the bacterial chromosome, it forms HFR. Integrated with the bacterial chromosome, it forms HFR. Okay, which is called high frequency of recombination. The chances of recombination increases. Okay, frequency of recombination increases. Alright. And please make a note, or please make or just write the differences. Differences between F positive and HFR. F positive and HFR. So in the first point, please write. The plasmid DNA remains independent. The plasmid remains independent. In case of F positive, what happens? The plasmid remains independent. It is not attached. But in this case, it is attached or integrated, right? Attached or integrated to bacterial genome or bacterial chromosome. Okay. Second point is recombination. The value of recombination. In case of HFR, recombination occurs frequently. Or you can write the rate of recombination is very high. Okay, the rate of recombination is very high. Please write it down. Rate of recombination is very high. In this case, the rate of recombination is low compared to HFR. Is low compared to HFR. Okay. Third point. Third point is transfer of plasmid is low. Since the rate of recombination is low, the process of transfer of plasmid will also be low compared to HFR. So in this case, transfer of plasmid is high. So that's the difference between F positive and HFR. Please copy kar lo. And then we'll move to the next part. Okay. So the next part is about transduction. The next part is about transduction, second process, transduction. Please give us a heading, transduction, second part of sexual reproduction, transduction. And this was discovered by, once again, by Lederbach, but this time his partner was Zender. Lederbach and Zender. Okay. In the earlier case, it was Tatum along with Lederbach. In this case, it is Zender and Lederbach. In the earlier case, it was Lederbach and Tatum. Okay. All right. So let's start. Transduction kya hota hai? Let's see. And this was discovered in an organism called Salmonella typhimurium. So Salmonella typhimurium and Salmonella typhi, they are different. Salmonella typhi occurs in case of they attacks the human beings, and typhimurium attacks other organisms. Okay, so they are non-toxic to human beings, but typhi is toxic. It causes typhoid. All right. So let me introduce you. I think you have studied about this. This is a bacteriophage. Please pronounce it as phage. Phage. Phage mat bolna. Phage is incorrect. Okay. Bacteriophage. Okay. Phage is a virus and it feeds on bacteria. Bacteria को खाता है. So bacteria plus phage is bacteriophage. It's a virus. It's a two type, T2 or T4. T2 virus or T4 virus. Two types of phage bacteriophage are there. T2 bacteriophage, T4 bacteriophage. Okay. Now, मैं एक rough structure बना. ये rough structure याद रखना. Details हम लोग पढ़ चुके. Suppose this is a bacteriophage. Inside it, you have double-stranded DNA. Okay, and then on the surface of this, you have some protein capsomeres, which collectively they're called capsids. Okay, now it will feed on the bacteria. So the size of bacteria should be much greater than that of virus. So let's suppose this is the bacteria. ये बहुत बड़ा. This is the bacteria. So it will attach the bacteria. यहाँ पर आके attack करेगा. Attack करने के बाद it will pin on the surface of bacteria and it will put its own DNA into the bacterial body. Okay, and that's called transduction. Okay, so transfer of DNA हो रहा है. देखो एक चीज याद रखना, sexual reproduction. Bacteria sexually reproduce actually नहीं करता, but sexual reproduction उसको इसलिए बोलते हैं because whenever there is transfer of genetic material or transfer of DNA from one body to another body, one body to another body, that is called sexual reproduction in case of microorganisms. Sexual reproduction in case of microorganisms किसको बोलते हैं? Whenever there is transfer of DNA or RNA or simply genetic material from one body or one microorganism to another. It is called sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. Okay, so it is much different from the sexual reproduction that takes place in higher organisms, like in case of human beings, in case of other mammals okay, in case of insects. But this is something else. This is just transfer of DNA or RNA from one microorganism to another microorganism. In the previous case, like in case of conjugation, we saw about the transfer of DNA from F positive to F negative. That was also the case of sexual reproduction. Okay, so in this case, there are two different species actually. There are two different organisms. Now this is not considered as an organism. Virus एक non-living या living के बीच में आता है. So virus के पास भी DNA है. So it will transfer its own DNA into the bacteria. Okay, so this transfer takes place between a virus and a bacteria. That is also considered as sexual reproduction. Okay, so it is quite strange, but that's the fact. Alright, please note this point. This is very important. That what kind of sexual reproduction is found in case of bacteria? Transfer of DNA RNA कुछ भी होगा, that is considered as sexual reproduction, although it is much different from higher organisms. Alright, please copy this part. Okay. So let's say this is a bacteria. Suppose this is a bacteria and this is the virus. Okay, the virus has its own DNA and this virus comes and binds at the surface. Next thing is it will inject its genetic material into the bacteria. Okay, so if I say कि bacteria का जो DNA है, it is black colored, and when it comes inside, the viral DNA is blue colored. Okay, now bacteria cannot recognize whether this is its own DNA or something else which is coming from outside. Okay, so this viral DNA will go and bind with the bacterial DNA. क्या होगा, ये जाकर इससे bind कर जाए. When it binds, bacteria को समझ नहीं आता कि इसका DNA कौन सा है और virus का DNA कौन सा है, integrate हो चुका है. Okay, now this virus will start to prepare. Virus produces its viral proteins and viral DNA. इसका मल्टीप्लिकेशन होगा. ठीक है, हम लोग जानते हैं कि डीएनए से क्या मिलता है. डीएनए से we get mRNA, messenger RNA, and from mRNA we get protein. So if you have got DNA, you can produce mRNA as well as protein. Okay, kind of DNA, that kind of DNA is present in your body will produce similar kind of protein and it will produce similar kind of mRNA. Okay, a human DNA will produce human protein. Say if I say rhinoceros जो होता है, rhino का जो सिंग होता है, horn उसका, ठीक है, ये horn है, and एक human being, let's say this is Mr. X. Okay, Mr. X के सर पे सिंग तो है नहीं, Mr. X सर पे क्या है, hair है ना. Okay, hair है. Okay, suppose इसके सर पे hair है and rhinoceros के सर पे क्या है, सर पे तो नहीं, face पे ऊपर में. हाँ चलो ठीक है, जो भी horn है. Okay, so horn basically is made up of protein and this hair is also made up of protein. Okay, both of them are made of proteins, but their nature is different. A human being cannot produce this kind of protein. If it starts producing this kind of protein, तो hair के बदले horn होगा. ऐसा तो होता नहीं है ना, because हमारा DNA जैसा होगा वैसे हमारा protein भी होगा. तो हमारा DNA जैसा है वो इस तरह का protein आता है जो hair बनता है. और rhinoceros का जो protein है, rhinoceros का जो DNA है, it will produce that kind of protein which will produce a horn. हाँ, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि इंटरचेंज हो जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होता. हाँ, कभी कभी कुछ होता है प्रॉब्लम, तो वो बिकॉज ऑफ म्यूटेशन होता है. म्यूटेशन क्या होता है, आगे वो 12th का पार्ट है, तो वो जेनेटिक्स है, वो नेक्स्ट ईयर पढ़ना होगा. So for the time being, just remember this, that if you have DNA, you can produce proteins. Okay. Now this virus produces its viral proteins and viral DNA. Okay. Now what will happen next? After some months नहीं बोलेंगे, because ये बैक्टीरिया है, तो after some hours के बाद क्या देखा जाएगा, कुछ घंटों बाद you'll see that the viral DNA has produced a number of proteins. Okay, बहुत सारा यहाँ पे proteins बन चुका है. ये blue कलर का सब कुछ क्या है, वायरस का प्रोटीन है. Now this viral protein will form structures like this. ये क्या है, capsid. ठीक है, इस तरह का स्ट्रक्चर बनेगा. Again, tails will be produced. अलग अलग बनता है सब. Okay, अलग अलग tails will be produced and DNA भी प्रोड्यूस होगा. DNA ये कौन सा DNA? Viral DNA. Okay. After this, there will be assembling. All the different parts which are produced, like this part, which is the head, this part, which is the tail, this part, which is the genetic material, everything will be assembled to form complete viral particle, and these processes will take place inside the body of the bacteria. बैक्टीरिया के बॉडी के अंदर ऐसा हो रहा है, और बैक्टीरिया जो भी खाना खा रहे हैं ना, उसको यूटिलाइज करके वायरस इसे बना रहे हैं. तो एक तरह से किचन बैक्टीरिया का है, सारा सामान, रॉ मटेरियल सब कुछ बैक्टीरिया का है, बट जो बनाने वाला है वो कौन है? वो कौन है? वायरस है. वो है वायरस. ठीक है. तो वायरस अपने मन का खाना बनाएगा और बैक्टीरिया को कुछ मिलेगा नहीं. All the resources of bacteria will be utilized by viruses, and viruses will produce their own DNA, their own proteins, and their own virus particles. Like if I say after assembling, what will happen? Complete viral particles will produce. ऐसे बहुत सारी चीजें मिल जाएंगी, बहुत सारी चीजें, ऐसे बहुत सारे वायरसेस बन जाएंगे. तो इसके बॉडी के अंदर नेक्स्ट स्टेप में क्या होगा? इसके बॉडी के अंदर बहुत सारे वायरस बन गए. मैं इस तरह से दिखा रहा हूँ शॉर्ट में, बहुत सारे. ये भर चुका है, ये पूरा भर चुका है. किससे भर चुका है? ये वायरस से भर चुका है. So a time will come when this bacteria will be filled with viruses, and then it will, उस वक्त क्या होगा? It will burst. कौन burst करेगा? The bacteria will burst. Bacteria will burst. And जब ये bacteria burst करता है, then what happens? All the viral particles, suppose यहाँ से burst कर गया, ये सब क्या होगा? ये सब released है. All the viral particles are released. तो viral particles, or I can say the viruses will be released to attack new bacterial cells. नया बैक्टीरिया को अटैक करेगा. तो इस तरह से बैक्टीरिया का वायरस का ग्रोथ होता रहता है, और ये बैक्टीरिया को मारते रहता है. ठीक है. और ये बैक्टीरिया को जब मारेगा तो उस तरह का साइकिल का भी एक नाम होता है जो बैक्टीरिया को मारा जा रहा है. दैट इज कॉल्ड लाइटिक साइकिल. ये भी हमारे सिलेबस में नहीं है, बस याद रखो लाइटिक साइकिल. ये साइकिल कहाँ हो रहा है? वायरस के अंदर. सो इट विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस लाइटिक साइकिल वायरस किल्स इट्स होस्ट. ओके. प्लीज कॉपी दिस पार्ट एंड प्लीज रीड दिस फ्रॉम योर बुकलेट नंबर 1. दिस इज नॉट प्रेजेंट इन एनसीईआरटी, सो इसको डिटेल्स में बुकलेट 1 में दिया हुआ है. इसको एक बार रीड कर लेना अच्छे से. ओके. प्लीज कॉपी दिस पार्ट फर्स्ट. Okay, so let's erase this. And the last type of sexual reproduction is called transformation. Okay, transformation. Now, transformation was discovered by Mr. Griffith. Let's give the heading transformation. Griffith 1928 में इसने इसको डिस्कवर किया था. ओके. एंड ये होता क्या है बेसिकली? ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन क्या होता है? देखो, इसको भी क्लास 12 में पढ़ना है जेनेटिक्स में अच्छे से. अभी मैं बस एक छोटा सा आइडिया दे रहा हूँ. सपोज ये बैक्टीरिया है, एंड दिस बैक्टीरिया हैज इट्स ओन न्यूक्लियोइड ऑब्वियसली, एंड इट हैज गॉट सम प्रोटीन्स which are called competence factors. Now, competence factors क्या होते हैं? They are some proteins which are produced by this bacteria. And then क्या होगा next step में? This bacteria will release the competence factors around its surrounding. सब जगह release कर देगा इस तरह से. Only some type of bacteria, specific type of bacteria can produce this competence factors. Not all the bacteria can produce it. Okay, only some specific groups can produce it. Now, this competence factor has the ability to attract naked DNA. Okay, it will attract naked DNA which are present in the surrounding media. Suppose there is a naked DNA over here. Okay, so suppose ऐसा कुछ है. Naked DNA क्या होता है? खाली DNA. जो किसी से बाइंड नहीं हो, इट इज फ्री फ्रॉम एनीथिंग, सबसे फ्री है वो ऐसे फ्लो कर रहा है सराउंडिंग मीडियम में, घूम रहा है ऐसे. ओके, दिस इज कॉल्ड नेकेड डीएनए. इट विल बाइंड विद दिस नेकेड डीएनए. सो ये फैक्टर्स आएंगे एंड दे विल बाइंड with this naked DNA and इनको ये मूव कराकर कहाँ ले जाएंगे, they will try to move it, these factors will try to move the naked DNA towards the bacterial body. Okay, so ये move करते हुए यहाँ पे आ जाएगा and when it comes near the surface, यहाँ पे क्या होता है, this bacteria takes up this naked DNA. तो बैक्टीरिया क्या कर रहा है, naked DNA को ले रहा है. ठीक है, this is called uptaking. This is called uptaking of naked DNA. This is called uptaking of naked DNA from the surroundings. From the surroundings. Okay, and this uptaking is nothing but transformation. Because of this uptaking क्या हो जा रहा है, अब इस बैक्टीरिया का जो नेचर है, it will be transformed, it will be changed. Because इस एक नेकेड डीएनए बाहर से ले चुका है, इसका जो नेचर है वो चेंज हो चुका है, एंड दैट प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. बस इतना ही पढ़ना और कुछ नहीं. ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन यही होता है, अपटेकिंग ऑफ फॉरेन डीएनए और नेकेड डीएनए, एंड इट इज ऑफ टू टाइप्स. ये भी लिख लो टाइप्स. वन इज नेचुरल एंड वन इज आर्टिफिशियल. ऑब्वियसली the natural one is performed by with the help of competence factor, and artificial one is done with the help of calcium chloride salts. So instead of this, अगर मैं इसको लैब में प्रोड्यूस करना चाहूँ, अगर मैं लैब में ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कराना चाहूँ, तो I will use calcium chloride to attract naked DNA. Okay, again ये सब भी एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन है, जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस थिंग्स, कॉपी कर लो, बहुत है इतना. So that's it about sexual reproduction. Please copy this part. The next part is about the classification of bacteria. Almost हम लोग खत्म कर चुके हैं चैप्टर को. So bacteria को एक और टाइप से कैटेगराइज कर सकते हैं. We have classified bacteria into two categories, like on three categories, I guess, on the basis of flagellation, on the basis of shape, and on the basis of gram stain. This is one more category in which bacteria are classified in two parts. One is called archaebacteria. One category is called archaebacteria, and the second category is called eubacteria. Now, as the name indicates, archae means primitive. So these are some primitive bacteria जिसमें एवोल्यूशन बहुत नहीं हो पाया. प्रिमिटिव टाइम से ही, बहुत पहले जब अर्थ बना था उस वक्त से ही ऐसे ही पड़ा हुआ है, प्रिमिटिव बैक्टीरिया. एंड न्यू बैक्टीरिया में क्या है, एवोल्यूशन हो चुका है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ एवोल्यूशन इनमें कुछ नया चेंज आ चुका है, एंड दे आर कॉल्ड ट्रू बैक्टीरिया. तो जो भी बैक्टीरिया लोग आसपास देखते हैं, दे आर न्यू बैक्टीरिया, एंड दीज आर फाउंड in extreme environments. These are found in extreme environments. And ये कहाँ मिलता है, सराउंडिंग एनवायरनमेंट में. आप जहाँ पर बैठे हो रूम में, हर जगह बैक्टीरिया है. ठीक है, सराउंडिंग्स में everything is filled with bacteria. Even this pen, this whiteboard, my room, this camera, your notebook, everything contains millions of bacteria. Okay, and those bacteria are eubacteria. Okay. Now, extreme environments or extreme conditions से क्या मतलब है इसका? So extreme environments, let's see. So if I say halophiles, the first category. Halophiles. Second category. Thermoacidophiles. I will explain everything. Please write it down first. And the last one is methanogens. Okay, halophiles, thermoacidophiles, and methanogens. On the other hand, in this case, in case of eubacteria, there are two categories: autotrophs and heterotrophs. Okay, now autotrophs again are two types: photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. Heterotrophs are of two types. One is parasitic and second is saprotropic या saprophytic, saprotropic और phytic, saprozoic भी बोल सकते हो, sapro. Okay, so let's understand क्या होता है हेलोफाइल्स का लिटरल मीनिंग क्या है. फर्स्ट कॉपी करो इसको. Okay, so halophiles, let's see. Halo का literal meaning is salt, and phile means to love. To love salty conditions or environment. To love salty conditions, extreme salty conditions में जो bacteria grow करता है, they are called halophiles. Okay. Similarly, the second one, thermoacidophiles. Thermoacidophiles. So thermoacidophiles में क्या होगा? Thermo means heat. So heat, to love heat and acidic conditions. Okay, जैसे कि hot springs, hot water springs, volcanic eruptions के पास होते हैं, hot water springs. Okay, halophiles जैसे कि जहाँ पर salt areas बहुत ज़्यादा हो, जैसे कि salt lakes, जहाँ पे water बहुत salty हो, ठीक है, salty muds. Okay, next number 3, the last one is methanogens. So methanogens, methano means methane, so methane producers. Okay, methane producers means they will produce methane. Now ये कहाँ produce होता है बताओ? तो marshy areas, they are produced in marshy areas. Okay, marshy area, दलदल वाला area, and intestine of ruminant animals like cattle. Ruminant animals, they also produce methanes. Okay, and with the help of the methane gas released by ruminant animals or cattle, gobar gas or biogas is produced. Gobar gas or biogas, which can be used as a fuel. Okay, so ये इसका importance है. So that's it about the different types of archaebacteria. Okay, please copy this part. Alright, let's see. Next, autotrophs. मैं इसकी बात कर रहा हूँ. Autotrophs. So autotrophs are those bacteria that produce their own food. Okay, so they can be photosynthetic or they can be chemosynthetic. Now, if they use light energy as a source of their food, then they are called photoautotropic. Photoautotropic, light energy वो use करता है. तो फर्स्ट इसके अंदर आ रहा है photoautotropic बैक्टीरिया. फोटो मीन्स लाइट, ऑटो मीन्स खुद से, सेल्फ, और न्यूट्रिशन, खुद का न्यूट्रिशन. ओके, फोटोऑटोट्रॉपिक. इसका एग्जांपल हमारे पास है साइनोबैक्टीरिया. ओके, साइनोबैक्टीरिया. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज द कीमोऑटोट्रॉप्स और कीमोऑटोट्रॉपिक बैक्टीरिया. तो इसमें क्या होता है, देखो, ऑक्सीडेशन. व्हेनेवर suppose I have Fe3 plus, or if I say suppose I have Fe2 plus and I convert it into Fe3 plus, basically I am doing oxidation. Okay, this is oxidation, and whenever there is oxidation there is release of energy. Okay, in biological systems, whenever there is oxidation there is release of energy. So whenever you oxidize something, you are actually producing energy. Not producing energy, you are releasing energy. Release of energy. Okay, so this energy which is produced by oxidation of food or oxidation of chemicals, okay, that is called chemoautotropic bacteria. So these bacteria produce energy by oxidation of chemicals such as nitrates, ammonia, etc. Okay, So these are called chemotrophic bacteria. Okay, बहुत सारे examples हैं. Next, so this part is over. Parasitic and saprophytic. ये भी discuss करते हैं. चलो, parasitic means parasites, those bacteria which cause जैसे कि food poisoning, this caused by Clostridium botulinum. Okay, food poisoning, parasitic. Okay, Clostridium botulinum cause करता है. Saprophytic जो सड़ा गला चीज खाता है. सड़ा गला means decaying, dead and decaying matter को feed करने वाला saprozoite. जैसे कि fungus होता है, but fungus is not bacteria. Okay, so there are some bacteria that feed on saprophytic or rotten substances. They are called saprophytic. So just basic definition पढ़ना है यहाँ से, ऐसा कुछ पढ़ना नहीं. The most important thing है that is cyanobacteria. Just इसको ही पढ़ना है हमें. Okay, but definition सबका समझ के रखना है. Example wise, just remember this cyanobacteria, and we have to analyze the structure of cyanobacteria as well. So our next topic is cyanobacteria. So please give the heading cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria. It is also called. Please give the heading cyanobacteria and write the first point. It is also called blue green algae. Actually, in the earlier classification systems, it was considered as a plant. Okay. Later on, it was discovered कि एक bacteria है, and then its name was changed from blue green algae to cyanobacteria. Cyano literally means blue green only, but algae was changed to bacteria because it's a member of kingdom Monera. It is not an algae. Normally plants के अंदर algae fall कर रहा था. Algae can be of different groups, so plants से हटा के उसको bacteria मतलब Monera में डाल दिया गया. Now it's called cyanobacteria, but is also referred to as BGA, blue green algae in some cases. Okay, but the actual name is cyanobacteria. All right. Now cyanobacteria has some specific structures which are very very important. और ये NEET में 2 बार आ चुका है. They are called heterocyst. Heterocyst. Okay. Heterocyst क्या होते हैं? So let me draw some structures first. All right. And if I say, suppose यहाँ पर और यहाँ पर, and then surrounding it, there is a coat of mucilage. Okay, now this blue structure is called mucilage coating. Now this one, this and this, these two structures are called heterocyst. Heterocyst. Now heterocyst का function क्या है? So write this down. Heterocysts are structures that are impermeable to oxygen, but are permeable to nitrogen. So these are structures which are impermeable to oxygen but are permeable to nitrogen. So इसका क्या role हो सकता है? Let's see. So I have got an enzyme which is called nitrogenase. This enzyme is called nitrogenase. Now this enzyme converts nitrogen into ammonia. Okay, it converts nitrogen into ammonia. Okay, now this conversion should take place in anaerobic condition. Why? Because this nitrogenase enzyme is highly sensitive to oxygen. अगर तुम oxygen दोगे तो this will become inactive. So it becomes inactive in presence of oxygen. ठीक है, अगर तुम ऑक्सीजन दे रहे हो तो this nitrogenase will become inactive. So in order to protect this nitrogenase from oxygen, there are some structures present which are called heterocysts, and these are impermeable to oxygen. Oxygen cannot enter inside these structures. Okay, although nitrogen can enter. Okay, तभी ये conversion हो पाएगा ammonia. And this process where we convert nitrogen into ammonia is called ammonification or nitrogen fixation. This is the first step. Ammonification is the first step of nitrogen fixation. You are fixing nitrogen into something. You are converting this nitrogen and you are fixing it into ammonia. Okay, that is called nitrogen fixation. So this is possible only because of heterocyst. अगर heterocyst नहीं होगा तो ये conversion भी नहीं हो पाएगा, because nitrogenase inactive हो जाएगा तो ये reaction भी नहीं हो पाएगा. Okay, और उसको inactive कब होना होगा? जब ऑक्सीजन ज़्यादा होगा. और ऑक्सीजन ज़्यादा कब होगा? जब ऑक्सीजन एंटर कर रहा है तब. लेकिन this heterocyst prevents oxygen from entering inside. As a result, this reaction will go on and ammonia will be produced. Okay, that's it. ये part end होता है यहाँ पर. One more thing, you can just write it down. Mucilage is present. Mucilage is present throughout the cyanobacteria except at heterocyst. Heterocyst. तो जहाँ heterocyst है, mucilage is absent there. Okay, except at heterocyst. Or you can also write heterocyst lack mucilage covering. Heterocyst lack mucilage covering. Done. Okay, one more thing, which is the last part of bacteria, is PPLO. Let me write the full form first. This is pleuro pneumonia like organisms. Pleuro pneumonia like organisms. Pleuro pneumonia like organisms. Okay, they are called PPLO. It is also called mycoplasma. It is also called mycoplasma. Again, it is also called, और एक और नाम इसका, jokers. In the other classification system, मैंने क्या बोला, ये लोग कहाँ पे थे? Plants में थे. Okay, तो इसीलिए इनको क्या बोला गया? Jokers of plant kingdom. Why were they called jokers of plant kingdom? Because इनके पास cell wall नहीं होता, and since they don't have cell wall, their shape fluctuates in different conditions. So इनका एक particular shape नहीं है. They can change their appearance all the time, just as jokers change their appearance. So that's why they are called jokers of plant kingdom. Okay, so PPLO, mycoplasma, jokers of plant kingdom, all are same. They are called jokers because they can change their appearance. They can change their appearance frequently. They can change their appearance frequently, just as jokers do. Okay, hence they were called jokers of plant kingdom. So यहाँ पर we have completed the Kingdom Monera वाला part. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about Kingdom Protista and Kingdom Fungi, and that will end our biological classification section, and then we'll move to plant kingdom. Okay, bye bye.